All right, everybody. So I had just received the Sapient Mason from thehouse.com. The board, I think, was about $156 or $160 or something like that. I'll link in the bottom exactly how much it was and everything. I opted to get some head NX1 bindings with it. These bindings are pretty cool. I can see a beginner using this whole setup. Start this video by saying I am a beginner snowboarder, so I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money, but I wanted to get something that wasn't like a Dick's or Dunham's or Walmart board by any means. And when I seen this board online, it like really, I have a thing for conspiracies and Illuminati. Not that I believe in any of it. I just think the designs are cool. I like the way things are with this. I like the color scheme, gray, everything really, it's pretty cool. But like I said, I bought the board separate, and I didn't buy a package. I ended up buying everything separately, and it came to $251, I do believe, which isn't terrible, I think, for buying a snowboard. I was looking at some Burton boards, and some of those were like $400 or $500. So I settled on this. It's got, some of these pretty cool little Illuminati stickers, or not stickers, but designs all over it, like the masonry type things. And the cool thing is, like, I noticed a lot of snowboards, they always have different bottoms, and this board has like the exact same bottom as the top, so it looks really slick, except for the bottom's all grayed out, obviously, but it still looks really, really cool. But back to the bindings. The bindings are definitely, when I bought these, I didn't know a whole lot about bindings or snowboards in general, but I wanted something that was affordable, that was decent, I guess, too, because I'm not going to be out in the mountain a million times a year. I'm probably going to go to a few parks around here. I live in Pennsylvania, so I mean, there's not a whole lot of time to snowboard, but I figured to go 3 or 4 times a year, this board will do what I want. The only concern I have right now is pretty much just for the head NX1 bindings, simply because these buckles here, see if I can get this to come in. There we go. The buckles here, this little guy is plastic. So that's the only thing that I don't like about them. Like, as far as like the plastic, polymer type plastic they use for the binding itself, totally cool with that. Seems like it's going to do what I need it to do. But as far as like the ratcheting side of things, I figured this would have been a little bit more sturdy. I just don't really like how this is. But the cool thing is, it's kind of hard with one hand on the camera, but the cool thing is, when you put this on, I mean, it really doesn't take much. Try to get a good shot of this. Get my camera to focus here. Like, it doesn't take much at all to get it on, and to get it off, it comes right off. And I noticed I used one other board, and it was kind of hard to get the strap to come out after I was down the hill. And it's not that piece of equipment wasn't amazing. It was just difficult for me for some reason. I don't know if I was doing something wrong. And MS was like, you have to hit it real hard to get it to come off. And these are pretty gentle. The other thing I like about it, it's not a folding back. Like, I don't know the name of this because I'm a newbie, so don't kill me on this. But the back support here of your heel, this is a fixed high back. I guess that's the word for it. I was hoping to get like a reclining high back. I guess the head RX ones have that. I didn't realize that at the time before I bought these, but these still are pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty solid. You can adjust the back. The bindings seem pretty sturdy. Seem like they got pretty good grip to them. The bands are pretty wide, which is pretty nice. So that way it fits your foot and your boot real well. The other thing I really do like about this as a beginner snowboarder / this being a beginner kind of price point binding as well, this hinge system here is pretty cool. I don't know how long it's going to take for this thing to wear out and break, but as far as I can tell right now, it's pretty cool that hinges straight out to get your foot in there. All you really have to do is just pull the binding back and get your foot in, and you're solid. You're in there. Like I said, they bind up very well. They seem to stay good. So I won't know until I actually use this board, but so far I'm really digging it. I haven't seen any videos or any reviews about either of these, like the board or the bindings. So for anybody who is thinking about buying a new snowboard, who's a beginner, you know, this board so far from another beginner, I'd have to say I'm happy with my $250 purchase. I'm waiting on a pair of boots to come in right now. Don't mind my shoes and my keys laying on the floor. I just got home. But I ordered a pair of boots off eBay for about $35. I think they're DC phases. So this board's also a 176 or 70. Yeah, I think it's 176. 157 wide because I wear a 12. So this is also a 2015 model, which I didn't realize that until now. I asked them on thehouse.com. They didn't get back to me in time, but they did assure me that I read a bunch of stuff online saying Sapient here was no longer, but found out that is inaccurate. They are actually still a business. They still operate. They're still going to be making boards, so that's kind of cool. I've learned that a lot of people in America don't like this brand, but overseas it seems to be pretty solid. So we're going to find out here hopefully in the next month or so about this board, see what kind of stuff I could do with it. I mean, it's a shorter board. I'm 5'10", I weigh about 200 pounds, so I definitely went a little short on the board. I wanted to be able to throw it around a little more, and the board that I rode before this was actually a 157 too, so it works out that I'm comfortable with this. I'm hoping that this video will help anybody that's looking to get into snowboarding or doesn't know anything like how I was at the beginning. Like, I just wanted to give somebody, honestly, a review of the bindings, the board itself. It actually seems like a really solid board for the price point. I'm not going to lie about that. I was using a Burton board. Thickness and everything about this board feels just as sturdy, just as solid as a Burton board. The only thing I would have done different now, knowing and learning a little more, is I probably would have spent a little extra money on the head bindings. I would have probably got the RX ones that have the reclining back because they just seem a little better. But all in all, hopefully the 2018 season is pretty good to me for the next month or so, or 2 months that we have left. I'm going to try to get out at least 1 or 2 more times. But yeah, this is the Sapient Mason 157 wide with the head NX1 bindings. So again, check this board out. If you guys are looking for a brand new board, the price point is pretty awesome. So I got, like I said, $251, $256, somewhere around there. Pretty solid price point. You can find yourself a set of used boots online on eBay for relatively cheap. So check it out.